Welcome back to Gamer Night. I'm your host, G.A.M.E.R here, and today's news report, we're going to be talking about recent news that has dropped in the gaming industry, and we're going to be doing little updates on just everything going around in the gaming world. So if you guys love gaming, if you like to stay up to date, consider clicking that subscribe button, because that is what we love doing. We love games. So what do? We talk about them. We make content about them, no matter what platform, no matter what genre, no matter what company. We're here. Let's talk about games. I'm here joining my co-host, Mobaxu, otherwise known as Austin.
What's up? How you guys doing? Back once again. Probably will be back most of the time because I'm always down to talk about games with my good old buddy, old pal. Last podcast we didn't really.
We talked about one piece of news, specifically one piece of news, and that was Uncharted.
Yeah,
but actually, we can now follow that up. Actually,
oh yeah, we can. Yeah.
So that's actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and start with that. All right.
Okay.
So there's a lot of smoke around PlayStation right now, because if you don't know, PlayStation, they have a pretty good lineup heading into 2023. A lot of third-party exclusives, most of which look very, very good. And I think about like one or two first-party releases, one of them being DLC, which I'm not going to take that away from anything. I think the DLC looks really cool from what we've seen. And then one big game being Spider-Man 2 in fall. But we 100% know that's not it. That's just not Sony. They've had multiple first-party releases every single year since, I don't even know the last time they had like a mid-year, to be honest with you. We know they're going to have more. The question is, what are they, and when will we finally see these? We haven't had an official PlayStation showcase in, like, ages, and since 2021, September of 2021 was the last PlayStation showcase, man, and we need to see more. And they just released a, kind of like a live-action commercial, recently, that basically was like live from PS5, and they showed a bunch of different scenarios from older games, and specifically PlayStation, when they posted that trailer, were like, there's many references and many Easter eggs in this trailer, see if you can find them all. They literally said that in a tweet in the trailer, and well, people have way too much time on their hands, and they have decided to go ahead and find every single Easter egg and reference in that trailer. And there is two very specific scenes that gets pretty like prioritized in the trailer, because there's like multiple small Easter eggs like everywhere, but then they like focus in on certain scenes. There was two that they focused in on that make absolutely no sense for their current schedule and advertising, that could lead to two upcoming games. So the first one being what we just talked about, Uncharted. So there's this little scene in the trailer where it's this girl pretty much holding a torch in a cave, and she's walking towards an artifact. Somebody in the comment section, let me know another PlayStation franchise that has that. The only other thing I can think of is Aloy, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is not Horizon Forbidden Dawn. This looked like Tomb Raider. She was wearing like a backpack. She had like a rope on the backpack. Yeah, this was definitely not Horizon. And so people have automatically began assuming Uncharted. Now, what's weird about this is the fact that as of last week, Naughty Dog officially confirmed they are moving on from the Uncharted franchise. They will no longer make Uncharted games, which is sad, I do admit, because in my opinion, they have created the greatest franchise of all time, especially game-wise, and they're basically retiring from it. Now, from one point of view, I think this is perfectly fine. I mean, like I said, they made such a great run at it that if they left it where it was, it cements its legacy as one of the greatest of all time. But at the same time, fans of the series, we want more because we're greedy and we like playing games. And so seeing that they're not going to make any more is really sad. But that doesn't mean Uncharted as a franchise is done, because other studios can license out the IP or partner up with Naughty Dog and make a game themselves. And there has been multiple leaks and rumors about this over the last couple years or so. And we've even gotten some evidence to point out that a studio has been internally created at PlayStation to solely work on the Uncharted series. They would basically be partnering up with Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog would oversee the production of the game, but have nothing to do with its actual development, which would make it where people should be confident, because if Naughty Dog's somewhat involved, chances are they're not going to let anything stupid happen. This isn't The Last of Us, so we don't have to worry about that. But, what happened now is, because of this trailer, and because of this specific scene that looks very reminiscent of Uncharted, people have begun theorizing that they are teasing a new Uncharted game. And this would make a lot of sense, because in the end of Uncharted 4, spoiler warning, click off now if you don't want to be spoiled, in the end of Uncharted 4, it is brought to attention that Nathan Drake has a daughter, Cassie Drake. And, well, it would make perfect sense to continue the franchise under Nathan Drake's daughter. Hence, this trailer, where this blonde girl, which Cassie was blonde, has a torch in her hand in a cave, like her dad, and she's staring at an artifact, like her dad. And there is no announced game or no previous game that this would be related to. This is very, in my opinion, this is like a really, prominent Easter egg that Uncharted is probably going to go in this direction. Now, this isn't confirmed or guaranteed or anything, but this trailer has been getting a lot of attention, so I wouldn't be surprised if in the next PlayStation Showcase, if there's somehow, some way in God's earth, there's another Uncharted. I will literally cry if that gets announced. I will literally drop on my knees and cry right there. I absolutely love it. And then the second teaser basically shows a little forest and this building on fire, which the building looks Japanese, and there are samurais on horses running away from the fire. This is obviously Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, there's literally nothing else this would be. It is literally Ghost of Tsushima. And, well, we basically know Sucker Punch is working on a sequel to it. So, to me, this could just be a reference to Ghost of Tsushima, yes. But I would not be surprised if we get an announcement for Ghost of Tsushima 2 soon as well. Which, I'm going to let you guys know right now. If this next PlayStation Showcase happens, we get a new Uncharted and Ghost of Tsushima 2, quite literally, I feel like I would be lying to myself if I said that wasn't my favorite event of all time. Like, you're telling me I'm getting a sequel to my favorite game of all time and my favorite franchise of all time. You literally can't beat that. At least I personally cannot beat that. All right, like that's literally as dream scenario as you get. So I hope it comes true. I swear, like that trailer, I feel like all the references and Easter eggs were pointed directly at me. So I'm very honored. But let me know your thoughts, Austin. I'm very curious.
So I actually so this commercial, whenever it came out, I remember hearing about it, and originally I remember everyone talking about the Uncharted part. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, they're teasing Uncharted 5, right?"
Yeah.
I keep thinking there's 5 for some reason.
There's actually 2 spin-offs.
Okay.
Which are still connected to the main story.
Yeah, so. But it'd still be 5 in mainline.
Yes, yeah, it'd be 5th.
So like every time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Like, despite the fact that Naughty Dog was like, "Oh, we're not going to be working on Uncharted anymore," I thought that'd be very interesting if they just took another studio and made them do it, because I think it gives Naughty Dog the ability to move on, which I think every studio has the right to do. Sometimes it's time to move on and pick up different projects. I mean, like I said, diversity is key. you can't just stick to the exact same thing like for the rest of your life. It's just you can't. And sometimes things can be passed over. They can, and it can be good or it can be bad. But as long as it has the right amount of support, it can get moved to a different studio. So I'm definitely not. I wouldn't be shocked if we see it happen. I do think it is happening. I really do.
Don't say that. Don't get my hopes up.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I could be wrong, but I see a good shot because I think Sony is smart enough, and I think they know what's good for them personally, and I feel like I just don't see them throwing away that IP. You know, that's my biggest reason is like. And I could be wrong, because Sony has proved us wrong several times. And, I don't know. I also have a little bit more faith in them because of how some of the decisions they've been making when it comes to events and all that. And I just feel like they're hiding stuff. It's like, there's got to be a reason there's stuff hidden. There's got to be.
They are hiding a lot. You can just tell they're hiding a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is it's like, who's to say that's not something they're hiding? Like...
I mean, it's one thing if, like, we've already seen so many game announcements from them. Literally all we have is, like, first party-wise, is Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's literally all we know, and that's only from one of their, like, 20-something studios now.
Yeah.
What about these other 20 studios? Like, come on. Something's up. I wouldn't be shocked if their next showcase, they absolutely blow out. And they, like,
probably
they go, like, all out and just, like, drop straight up bombs one after the other.
I don't know, man. But Ghost of Tsushima, I mean, it's already known there's a sequel in the works, and I mean, is it time for it to show up?
I think so. I mean, I think because, like, going off of Sony's track record, right? If we look at God of War and Horizon, God of War 2018 came out 2018, obviously, and then they announced its sequel September of 2020. So exactly 2 years later, exactly 2 years after the original they announced the game. The game ended up releasing in 2022, 2 years after the announcement. Horizon Zero Dawn, released 2017, was officially revealed summer of 2020. So 3 years. Ended up releasing 2022, 2 years after its announcement. Spider-Man's 2's announcement was also 2020. Wait. Was 2021, and it's coming out this year, 2 years after its announcement. As you can see, I think they really like announcing their games 2 years in advance. So, this is where it confuses me. I don't see Ghost of Tsushima 2 releasing in 2025. I think that's too far, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, could I see it? Actually, I could. I could see it happening. Because, man, I got so much to say on this. All right, so I thought, personally, Ghost of Tsushima 2 was going to come out in 2024. But if I'm going to this 2-year announcement thing, I thought they were going to announce it last year, but they ended up not having a showcase last year. And so it wasn't announced. So I'm over here thinking, I don't even know, like, when to expect this game anymore. But I definitely think this next event, I definitely think Ghost of Tsushima 2 is going to get shown. And that is another cry moment for me. So I may be crying twice during one event if both of these things come true. And also, oh my god, I'm thinking how absolutely mad this event could be. They could finally bring back Sly Cooper. They could do something else like, oh god, I can't even think.
Metal Gear? Well,
I mean, no, you're right.
We've been seeing leaks.
They always, dude. PlayStation loves their third party exclusives, and they love their first party exclusives. So if it's a full on showcase, you can guarantee that there's going to be third party announcements, and you can guarantee that there's going to be first party announcements. First party wise, Uncharted 2, Ghost of Tsushima 2, and Uncharted 2. Uncharted 5.
2, yep.
Uncharted 5, or just a new Uncharted game. I don't know if it's going to be Uncharted 5 yet. Just a new Uncharted game, Ghost of Tsushima 2, and Sly Cooper are my top 3 predictions at this point. All 3 of which would be like my top 3 once. So if that happens, oh boy.
Yeah.
And then third party wise, at this point, Metal Gear. Anything Metal Gear related. Man, I can't even. I don't even know what else. I don't even know. It could be so many things. It could be so many things. My guess would be we would finally see the Knights of the Old Republic remake. That would be my guess. Just because it's been like 2 years since we last saw it. So
Sony surprisingly hasn't had as many leaks as I would think they would. Like,
no, they're actually pretty good with their leaks.
Like, a lot of their stuff hasn't like leaked online seriously bad. Like from last time I thought. Besides that trailer that they put out, or like the commercial, I feel like that's kind of just on them. Like, I feel like they know what they're doing though. But I mean, they've been. It's weird because I do think seeing those 2 games specifically, they make sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see them soon. Now here's my thing is like, I just don't know when we're getting another PlayStation event because they love these state of plays. They love them now. But I do think soon would be the most important time ever to do a actual PlayStation event.
I'm going to make a prediction. And I'm going to say March.
Okay.
I'm going to say March. No particular reason. I just think March. I don't think they're doing it in February. I don't know. They just don't seem like a February type of company to me.
Yeah.
And we already know
Nintendo.
Yeah, and we already know Nintendo's planning on doing something. So definitely not February. The question is, would they go farther than March? Like, would they straight up wait all the way until summer? That seems like too long for me. And the thing is, actually no, Cap, straight up, they have to have something before summer. They have to have some kind of event before summer, because if Spider-Man 2 is releasing in fall, there is no way they're going to announce it in summer and then go like 3 months until the release of Spider-Man 2. We've yet to see anything else on the game except that official announcement trailer 2 years ago. So they have to have something in. I'm saying March. That's my guess.
Okay. Makes sense.
But it'll be an exciting time, that's for sure. As soon as PlayStation announces the event, buckle up. Like, I hate to say it, unless it was some of them old state of plays, PlayStation never misses with their events. They never miss. In my opinion, they are the most exciting events, just because they keep everything super secret, and usually they just go ham. Like, I think track record-wise, every PlayStation showcase, I think out of any event, I end up walking away with more games I'm going to play than any other event. Yeah, I would say, like, if I'm thinking about the very first PS5 showcase when they first, like, showed the console, God, I feel like I've played, like, 90% of all those games that were in that event. Then the next showcase, I feel like I've played, like, all of them. And then we haven't had one since, but, God, I feel like they put in good games, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be pretty exciting. I really hope it happens.
All we can do is pray, man. I mean, let's pray for a Nintendo Direct, which should be happening this month, and then right after next month, hopefully get that PlayStation event, because Xbox already started off this year with one, so
Yep.
I mean,
and we're getting a Starfield event.
It'd be nice to have Xbox, then Nintendo, and PlayStation right in a row, man, month by month. But
also, my soul is slowly leaving my body. I really feel like Starfield's gonna be June. My life is gonna be over in June.
I think it's also gonna be June.
Dude, this June might be one of the best months in gaming, like, ever. Summer Games Fest, E3, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Starfield, Final Fantasy 16, probably like maybe a mini Nintendo Direct or like a third-party showcase, whatever. Probably another like State of Play or something. June is going to be stupid.
Yeah.
June is going to be... And I guarantee you they're going to announce more games for June as well.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you Nintendo's probably going to have, like, a Mario Sports spinoff or something for June.
Yeah.
Which, pray baseball. Which, actually, let's go ahead and move on into Nintendo. They have a highly, highly rumored... I'd even say leaked at this point. Nintendo Direct next week. It's supposedly going to be next week. I do believe this. I think this is very likely. I've been saying Nintendo's going to have an event soon anyway, and then this came out about next week. I'm like, yep, seems about right. I'll let you go and talk real quick, just because I think you wanted to say something.
I mean, like, I've been watching, of course, we got our main news guy that we usually watch and everything. We got Jay Wood. I watched his video on it, and he kind of went over what he thought about it. And he said it makes sense. The only thing he doesn't understand is the date of specific, why it is February the 7th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he said apparently February 7th is a Tuesday, which apparently Nintendo's not used to doing. And also it's held on the same day of some kind of business meeting or something. It's very weird. I don't know what he was trying to mention,
I don't remember him saying that.
I remember him saying something about some kind of thing. And he said there were two reasons why, and those were two. And he was like, I feel like that's really weird to have a Nintendo Direct on that day when those two things happen. And I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't remember what specific dates these Nintendo Directs come out. I don't know if they don't like Tuesday. Maybe they start liking it. I don't know. And then the other thing
on Tuesday. I don't know.
I have no idea. But I do think it is for sure coming up very soon. I mean, I definitely do think it will be next week. It may not be exactly the date we're looking at, but I do think it will be next week.
I could see Thursday.
Yeah, I think Thursday is more likely. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah.
So there's two main reasons why a lot of people think this Nintendo Direct's about to happen. Number one, both Advance Wars Reboot Camp and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom both got updated on the Nintendo eShop store. Basically, to update, the update was basically preparing for pre-orders. Nintendo isn't used to just announcing a game for pre-order, like, randomly on, like, a slow Tuesday. So, obviously, they're going to be just doing something. Now, you're like, okay, I mean, it could just be two of their games. Reboot Camp is not, like, it has been going through, like, literal hell and back. And Tears of the Kingdom is, like, their biggest game. So, it makes sense. But then, I guess this other rumor, which Jay Wood actually talked about today, which I like, take it with a grain of salt, because it could just be somebody making up some fake news, and it could just be complete cap. But I'll be honest, I'm gonna believe it, and I think this is hilarious. Apparently, some Walmart employee got 3 cardboard, like, advertisement things, like those big setup cardboard, like, things that a lot of places have to advertise a game. One of Minecraft Legends, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I forget the other one. Oh, yeah. The other one, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, makes a lot of sense. And then Advance Wars Reboot Camp. And on the Advance Wars Reboot Camp one, it says available now. And the Walmart employee basically said that they are scheduled to put them up on February something. February 6th, I think they said, which that doesn't even make sense. So, I don't know. Yeah. But it's just weird to me that
the dates don't align.
No, like, they really. I think the date is the only confusing part about this. I think a Nintendo Direct makes 100% sense. I think both of these games being there makes 100% sense. I think the pre-orders make 100% sense. Just why can nobody just decide on a date right now? Like,
yeah,
it's really just up in the air.
Like, yeah, bro, the game is scheduled to go up at February the 6th, but the event's the 7th. All right, well, we announced it a day late.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, so odd. But I guess that leads into our next question, or next topic. That is, reports basically say come out that, well, I guess I'll go and start with this. Basically, it's confirmed Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo will not be attending E3. Which RIP E3, we'll get to that in a minute. But the big reason why Nintendo won't be there is apparently because they don't feel like they're going to have an event because of the lack of releases in the second half of the year. So, a couple things to talk about. We've kind of talked about this a while ago. They've basically said they don't have enough heavy hitters to warrant a Nintendo Direct this summer, which, okay, I don't blame them, but at the same time, what are you considering heavy hitters, right? And then, the second of all, if you don't have a lot coming out in this second half, you gotta have something. Otherwise, you're gonna get a lot of hate, and a lot of people aren't gonna be happy. So you have to have something, which, in my opinion, I think leads to several possible titles, but it's just interesting because this now leads into this upcoming Direct. Could they maybe announce some of the stuff there for the second half of the year instead of a summer Direct? Which, if they're not going to do summer Direct, tells me they're probably going to announce some things here that come out later half. To me, I think it's going to be a lot of ports, remasters, or remakes. Metroid Prime remastered or remake at the very top of that list for sure. Zelda ports, I think we could finally get the Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. Fingers crossed for Wind Waker. I think a lot of other franchises could be getting a port. And then maybe I don't know. See, I just don't know what they consider heavy hitter, because we could see that Donkey Kong game. We could see something else. I just don't know. I really don't know. And we could see spin-off of Mario or something.
When was the last official, like, Nintendo Direct E3 kind of, like...
The last E3 Nintendo Direct?
Yes, it was probably
2021.
Because 2022 was not...
2021 wasn't even... 2021 was the last E3, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from looking... And the best way I like to look at this, considering what they believe to be heavy hitters... I'm looking at their last showcase and what they showed, okay? So, because if they want to say, if they don't have enough big hitters, okay, then compare, basically what I want to do is I'm looking through this to see what they consider big hitters, because whatever they showed at this last one, they consider to be big. So, you have, of course, you had Kazuya coming to Smash Brothers from Tekken, Life is Strange Remastered, yeah, Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy that came over, some other small ones, Super Monkey Ball Mania that came over, Mario Party Superstars,
it's kind of a big one.
Metroid Dread, that was shown, Mario Golf, Monster Hunter Stories 2, WarioWare, Shin Megami Tensei, Danganronpa, Fatal Frame, Doom Eternal, Mario Plus Rabbids, Advance Wars Reboot, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and then Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I don't think it's...
Off of initial thought, I only think there's only one big hitter. I think that's Zelda.
Metroid Dread?
I don't even see what are they considering
okay.
heavy hitter, because that game did not sell a lot in all honesty.
See,
That game took forever to become the highest selling Metroid game, and the highest selling Metroid game was only like over 1 million, I think.
Yeah. I personally think that they could have enough for a E3 showcase. I don't know why they don't think it's because looking at their last one, I definitely don't think there's a world where I could say it would not be maybe as good as this. Like, a lot of this stuff is like maybe smaller to maybe like mostly third party stuff. Like, there is some big hitters, of course, like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and yeah, it's Skyward Sword HD, like I said, Hyrule Warriors Age of the Calamity, but I don't think it's
a lot of those weren't even announced there.
Well, yeah,
Mario Golf and Skyward Sword were announced in February of that year.
I don't understand what it is about this time that doesn't make them want to do it, because with that lineup, I think they could still have it, but I have said this. I do think it is quite crazy the fact that Nintendo had so many games come out last year, because it's very weird to see them come out with so many. And if this is such a big problem, I kind of wish it wasn't as hectic as it was, but I'm not complaining because at the end of the day, we had so much. But at the end of the day, we don't know what Nintendo considers big hitters. To me, if I'm going to be strictly honest with you, I think they're talking about specifically what they believe makes the most amount of money. Because if you don't consider Pikmin 4 a big title, then I don't really... I mean, we know, of course, Legend of Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, those are huge, but I don't think their terms of big hitters are very wide if they're saying this. Like, the scale of what Nintendo thinks is so weird, and it's like,
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna make a statement. I'm gonna say their terms for big hitters are new mainline entries.
okay.
That's gonna be that's what I'm gonna go off of. Because if we think of like Mario Sports spin-offs, if we think of ports and remasters, or if we just think of smaller games, I think that's what they're considering major hitters. They're not gonna show the next mainline Mario. They're not gonna show Metroid Prime 4. They're not gonna show.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Is there well?
And the thing is, Pikmin 4 would be considered a major hitter, but they've already announced that.
Yeah.
See, so that wouldn't technically count for showing a new heavy hitter, which could then warrant their statement that they made.
Yeah.
Because I would, if I was Nintendo, I would consider Metroid Dread a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Just because it's like a new mainline entry in like one of their franchises. I would consider Mario Party Superstars a heavy hitter. Just because it's a like new mainline Mario Party, I guess.
I think I get what you're putting down. I do think that makes a lot of sense, and I mean, part of me is kind of happy about this, but also not, because I think there's a chance that we could see a really dry second half from Nintendo. But at the same time, I feel like this kind of forces them to work on other things that may not take as long, but also maybe like we could finally get IPs that get revived and actually get used. Like, because I feel like at this point, we're at a point where Mario's not getting another mainline game, and I truly believe that. I don't think we're getting another mainline Mario until the next Nintendo console comes out. I don't know about Pokemon.
They're done.
Honestly,
they're done.
I'm at a point where I don't even think, because usually we have a new one come out every year, and maybe it's smaller than the others or so, but they had 2 come out last year. I don't see a world where we have, and that's still wild to me, how we had 2 come out in 1 year. I can't believe they didn't just space them out, but...
And we had 2 games come out the year before, but they were spin-offs though, so...
Yeah, but that's so weird to me how they planned it. And I mean, I care about the company. Like, I even said it from the very beginning. I thought it was so weird how they decided to go so hard, but I feel like now it's come to bite them back. Because now, if they truly believe their second half is not looking great, oh, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's rough because I've never, I don't think I've ever had this. Has Nintendo like ever been to this point where they've stated they don't want to do something because they feel like their
I don't
season
think
is
so.
going to be dry?
Here's my prediction. This is what I'm going to go off of. Oh, see,
I don't think they've started off the year bad though. The first half is like, okay, it's not about the first, it's about the second half. That is my there are certain, like I said,
hang on. Let me think. Okay, first half: Fire Emblem, Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Bayonetta Origins, and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's what we got so far.
Yeah.
Then we know we have Pikmin 4 sometime in the
Which,
year.
That's
it.
When is the official first half of the year end?
June 31st.
I think it comes out like before June. Or at least around it. I don't think it'd come out in July.
See, I think Pikmin 4 is September, personally. That's my guess.
You think it's second half?
Yes, I do.
That would make sense because they need some second half.
And here's my prediction. I think Pikmin 4 will be the only new mainline entry in the second half. Which means they're going to use spin-offs and ports or remasters to fill in the gaps. Which, my predictions, Metroid Prime, Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, or both, F-Zero GX. Here's the only one. I have so much confidence that Donkey Kong is going to come out this year.
No, okay. I wanted to actually talk about that. So, if there's anything I hope is true, we saw it. There was leaks around the Kirby, kind of Kirby going into a different area of gameplay. No longer 2D, going to 3D. We've also been hearing from the Mario Odyssey team, they're working on a 3D Donkey Kong. And we have yet to hear anything about it. The Kirby one was correct. We had that come out, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So, where is this Donkey Kong at? I mean, to me, Donkey Kong's heavy hitter. I could see why they don't think that. I can see
why they don't, especially if it's 2D. If it's a 2D Donkey Kong, I can especially see why it's not a big hitter.
Yeah.
But if it's a 3D Donkey Kong, I mean, that's like, you haven't had one of those since the N64.
I think it's just...
Here's my guess. This is my final prediction. Everything I've said up to this point, I hold by. I think Pikmin 4 is September, Metroid Prime Remastered, Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, F-Zero GX. I think all those will probably come out this year. The only other big game I think is going to come out this year is... Oh, well, also a Mario spinoff. I think I'm gonna hope for Mario Baseball in June or something. I'm gonna say they announce, if they have this next big direct in February. I think one of the big announcements will be Donkey Kong.
I mean, I don't know what else would be their final big announcement. I mean,
because I just don't know what else they would. I just don't know what other big hits. Like,
see, that's the issue, man. I feel like they put themselves in a situation that's like really, really, really hard. And
the thing is, it's like
they got a lot of pressure.
It's like I'm very excited for Pikmin 4, and if they did announce Donkey Kong, I'd be extremely excited for Donkey Kong. But if we're talking about a main, like one of the big three platform holders, are completely separate from everybody else, don't have as much third-party multi-platform games. To me, that's going to be a really, really slow second half.
Yeah.
That's
And
like,
like
I just don't know.
like I said, John, and I believe this. I kind of think it was somewhat poor scheduling. I think some of these games that were last year, I think could have been spaced out to the next year. I do. Like there were so many games that came out for them last year. I just feel like if it really couldn't have got to this point, maybe one could have been stretched. Like
Here's what's even
I
scarier.
I don't see the point. Like, sorry for interrupting, but I just want to say I could see a world where if they really were scared of this, I would have pushed back Splatoon 3. I mean, I feel like it is.
I
a
would have
game
pushed back
that
Pokemon and polished it. That's what I would have done.
No,
Real.
That is so real.
That's what I
those
would've
two, literally, those two games. Like, regardless, I mean, Pokemon still did great, but honestly, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I don't know why it came out in the same year as Arceus. I think that's one of the worst decisions they could have made, and it should have came out this year. And like I said, I feel like it's a scheduling issue. They put themselves in this situation, and there's not much. I mean, now they're scrambling.
Here's what's even scarier. They've basically said, if this whole thing is true, and everything we've heard about ends up being true, there was also that statement a while ago that the Switch as a whole will no longer have any more heavy hitters after Zelda. If you're going to tell me the next console won't release until late next year, you're telling me it's going to be that dry until then. That's what's really scary.
I'm telling you, man, I've believed it. I've said it. I think early 2025 is when we get it. I do. I think it's been in development for a tiny bit now.
I don't know
think
about
they
early
need
2025.
You don't think early?
I don't think any console releases early in the year. It's always holiday time.
I don't know how long they've been working on this next console is the problem.
Because my thought was, if they're going to have a dry second half of the year, a good way to cover a lot of that up is to maybe announce your next console in September Direct, like they normally have. Dude, there's so many possibilities.
I would like to say, Nintendo, you have dug yourself a hole with scheduling.
But I will say this. What if none of this is true? What if all of this has just been straight cap? And they're just going to continue their normal lives with normal games?
I get that, but I'm not going to lie, homie. I think it's real.
I do too. No, I 100% agree.
I can't see a world where Nintendo skips out on E3. And it makes perfect sense. I don't see Nintendo skipping out on any other reason, because Nintendo has usually always been at every E3. Why specifically not this year? There's no... To me,
it's more shocking about Xbox, personally. To me, Xbox is more shocking. Dude, they've been supporters of E3, like straight up. They have tried pushing for E3, which shocks me. Which is almost why I'm thinking E3 isn't going to be what, like, I think E3's doing, like, Summer Games Fest. They're going to have, like, one big E3 event.
Yeah.
Because they got in so much new management and new, like, just people and companies behind it that, like, to me, it seems like they're going to go for something completely different. Which would make sense then why they're not a part of it, because they can't be.
I don't know. It's so weird. Like, I hate ranting about this so much. Like, yeah, it's a podcast and everything, but I know I've spent the most because I care about this company a lot. But I hate to hear that we might have a really dry area. Like, I'm honestly scared for the future. And like I said this a long time ago. I cannot believe they had so many games come out last year. It's not typically normal for Nintendo to do that. And now it just seems like it's coming back to bite them if this is real. And I do think it is real to an extent. Will they find a way to cover it? I think they can cover this year, but next year is where I start to really worry for them. Because, oh God, you need a lot of time to just develop. Oh,
See,
it's scary. It's scary.
here's what I'll say. And God, I think this is really true. I think this is a really sad, harsh reality. To some people, this is perfect. But I think to a lot of people, I think Nintendo thinks Zelda is much more of a big deal than it is in the grandeur of retrospect. I think they think Zelda's going to carry the entire year.
Oh yeah.
When it's really not for like 80% of their audience.
Yeah.
So to me I almost think they're betting way too much on Zelda.
Yeah. I mean, last one was critically acclaimed. Some say best of all.
I mean, I don't blame Nintendo. But like
I don't.
But like you have to think about the other people. What if you don't like Zelda? You're literally screwed. Yeah.
I just think it's just poor scheduling.
And
I
then
think there's
here's what I'll also say. I'm a fan of spin-offs. Sometimes I like spin-offs more than the actual game.
No, I feel that.
I love spin-offs. Straight up. At least whenever they're done right. And I don't mind ports and remaster because for me, there's so many games that I've yet to play. So having a port or remastered is fine. I'm okay if that is majority of their second half. Now, if they're talking about dry, which just means literally nothing, then that is going to be a big issue. But to me, it just... Because if you do a Metroid Prime remaster, to me, that's like a heavy hitter. But that's just me personally, because I love it. So it's like... Because I feel like for most of this conversation, we've been talking in like a general audience perspective. Where now I'm just going to be focusing on like my perspective, because I'm a person, I have my own wants and happiness and whatnot. To me, Metroid Prime would be a heavy hitter. That would like cover like maybe 2 to 3 months of like a schedule, just because I'd be so excited for that, right? Pikmin 4 is like a heavy hitter for me, so that would be like that. Throw in like maybe a Zelda remastered, that'd be a pretty big hit. It's like I don't need a lot. I just need things that I want, but I just don't know, because they just, what they've said, that it's just they don't have enough, or they just don't think, they're not confident in anything. I just don't know. I really don't know. I think there's only one way to find out. I think this next Nintendo Direct's going to answer a lot. If this next Nintendo Direct is just updates on already announced games and Zelda with minimal announcements, like maybe the Donkey Kong game, that's it, I would start to get worried about the second half.
Yeah.
But if they announce some ports, if they announce 1 or 2 new games, I'd be like, okay, those are more than likely going to be second half of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, we might be okay. It really is going to come down to this next Direct. And I have a feeling, going back to that harsh reality, I feel like half of the Direct's going to be focused on Zelda.
Probably, yeah.
They're gonna have a big Zelda blowout in the second half of the event, where they do like big overview on like a lot of different game features and everything. And there's only gonna be 20 minutes worth of actual news and announcements. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We will see.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, it's like I said, them not showing up to E3 is very weird. It's also, I mean, because it's also, like we said, confirmed Microsoft, Sony, and I mean, Sony hasn't been at E3
Sony does not shock me.
A while. Xbox not being there, wow. Yeah. I'm even more shocked at that.
And the thing is, they literally confirmed the other day that they would be returning for a summer showcase in Los Angeles. They literally confirmed that. Xbox themselves literally confirmed that. In person, too. They said the event would be in person in Los Angeles this summer. Which, that's why, to me, that's why I'm going towards the E3's just going a whole separate direction this year. Like, E3's doing their, like, a completely new thing. Because that just makes no sense. Why Xbox would not be there. They're going to be literally right next door to them. In Los Angeles. In the same time frame. Why wouldn't you just combine with E3? That just doesn't make
I do
any
think that makes
sense.
a lot of sense. I, I mean, you might be right on the money because if it's a
E3
whole
has
thing,
said that they're changing their
yeah,
strategy.
like if
So
it's like Summer Game Fest, then I'm not gonna lie, that would be really hard to work around. You have multiple like third party companies, and you also have these three titans which can produce a lot of stuff and put all of that into one showcase.
yeah.
That is I don't think that blends very well and would really struggle. That's why E3's always been that like multiple day kind of thing.
Which is
Everyone
why,
has their
which is what I'm saying. I think what's gonna happen this summer, we're gonna have the Summer Games Fest event, which has multiple third party announcements, a bunch of indie stuff, sometimes some of the big three. Then you're gonna have your individual events, maybe not Nintendo, just because of their whole scheduling thing. I just don't know right now. You're gonna have a Sony State of Play probably, and then it's already confirmed we're having an Xbox event. The best thing for E3 to do at that point would just to be go the Summer Games Fest route and just have one big event compiled of multiple companies. Because then what could happen is Nintendo can throw in one or two of those port remasters or one smaller game that they don't have as much confidence in. And I don't know, there's so much going on. There's just so much rumors and
yeah.
questions right now. It's unreal.
It's kind of like sad to think about because I know a lot of people, including me. I'm not gonna give up on E3. I love E3, and
Oh yeah, no.
as much as I've seen people say, "Oh, E3 is there's no point in watching." There's absolutely no point. I disagree because regardless of whether those big three are not there, and they have been the staples of creating like they are the three titans for a reason. And who's to say that we're not going to have other big companies show up? But I think in the grand scheme of things, I feel like companies are starting to understand that making your own events is a lot easier to work around and just works better as a whole than going to other events and doing it like that. Um
I just
I-
I'm really sold on the fact that E3 is gonna do like a Summer Games Fest thing, because
yeah.
that's just how the games industry has been operating
Yeah.
for the past 3 years. Everybody just does one big event, like the
Yeah.
Game Awards, Summer Games Fest, Xbox, State of Plays, Nintendo Directs. To me, it just makes sense for them to just go a completely different route.
Yeah.
Which I think that's right, because you have to think EA needs a place to announce some things. Ubisoft needs a place to announce things. Capcom, Square Enix, they need places to announce these big things. And they're not about to have these big solo showcases because they're not platform holders. It's really hard for them to have that. So it's like one big event just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see, man.
It's rough. Like there's a lot of rough news. Like I remember at the beginning we had a lot of great news, and then it's like some of it's rough, and it's some of it is like some things you just can't control. Some it I feel like could have been handled better, but at the end of the day, I mean that's just what happens. I mean at the end of the day, we still believe 2023 will be the best year of gaming.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes some companies may not show up as much. Like uh, I mean Sega is there, but do they have anything else besides Yakuza?
Bayonetta Origins, if that's
Oh
even
yeah, Bayonetta.
considered. I mean, Sega's logo is in the trailer, so I don't know.
It is, so it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo started off pretty well.
And then apparently
It's just-
Persona's gonna have a big year somehow. Oh yeah, also Persona 4 and 3 also came out on everything at the beginning of the year.
I have no idea, man. It's so weird because, like I said, I think we also care so much because we want this to be the best year of gaming, and um, I still believe it will be, regardless.
Oh yeah.
But I still want to watch E3. I want to still give it a shot. And I don't think E3 would operate unless they really thought that it was a no-go.
Yeah.
And I hope in the next few months we don't hear anything such as, oh, we're canceling again. I don't think we will, but
Yeah.
let's just pray and hope that doesn't happen.
Well,
So
in terms of best year gaming, I'm gonna go ahead and try do a nice little segue so we
yeah,
can get off this topic.
yeah.
A big contribution to why E3 will be the best of your gaming is because a specific game has been getting a lot of smoke here recently, especially today and yet yesterday. A specific game that I'm very excited for, Alan Wake 2,
Oh yeah.
has been getting a lot of attention and a lot of information. Alan Wake 2, the sequel to one of my favorite like psychological horror games. And Alan Wake 2 is confirmed to be Remedy's biggest project yet. And we got a little more information, as in they've basically said they want it to be a true survival horror game. Remedy wants to put their stake on the genre. Alan Wake 2 is Remedy's biggest project yet. We just talked about that. And then they want to allow welcoming new players who did not play the original, but also lots of connections and lore to Alan Wake 1 and Control. To me, that's perfect. Make it way more horror than the original one was, because that was some of its best elements. Make it bigger, because obviously it's a sequel, you want bigger. And make it connect to Alan Wake 1 and Control for all those people who have been following along, but make it new for people who just want to jump into the sequel, like a certain somebody I know. So, so yeah. To me, everything we've heard on Alan Wake 2 is just awesome. I cannot wait to finally see more, which I think we would definitely see probably at like Summer Games Fest is my guess.
Yeah.
So, yep.
That's probably a good time to show it, I'd say, for especially them and everything.
Yep. Also, on other news, Hi-Fi Rush has now become the highest rated game of the year so far. New game, at least.
Oh, yeah.
It has reached a 90 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
And was certified as a must-play.
I'm guessing Dead Space is probably still at an 89.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we could talk about the, you know...
Dead Space?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know when you want to get to it. Gear 6?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, first off, Dead Space related. Motive has said they want to continue working with the Dead Space IP, which I think is great news because they've absolutely knocked it out the park with the Dead Space remake. So it only makes sense to me why they wouldn't continue to work with the Dead Space franchise, especially since people have been asking for it to return for a long time. Now the question is, will they do Dead Space 2 remake, which I wouldn't be opposed to that, or will they just go ahead, bite the bullet, and finally continue the franchise with Dead Space 4? Or just a reboot in general.
Jay Wood had a post.
Yeah.
And I replied to it because I thought, why not? I think they should go with Dead Space 4.
That's my.
I think
I
think they should continue. I understand the idea of a remake again. That's fine. But I think what people really want now after that remake is Dead Space 4.
I agree.
And I'm just keeping it real, man. I just feel like that's just it is how it is.
My thing is people don't like Dead Space 3.
Yeah.
People hate Dead Space 3. Actually, after thinking about it, I don't really know if I like Dead Space 3 more than 2. I don't know. I haven't played them in so long. I don't even know. If you remake Dead Space 2, to me, at that point, not remaking Dead Space 3 is like, to me, that, I don't know, that just seems stupid. Like, yep, we're gonna remake 1 in the trilogy. We're gonna remake 2 in the trilogy. We're not gonna remake 3.
Nah, bro, we're gonna have a remake trilogy for 1, 2, and 3.
I mean, if they could remake 3 and try to make it better, I think that could be interesting. But to me, just make a new one. People love Dead Space 1, the original where everything started. Now continue it. To me, that just makes the most sense, and I think that'd be the coolest, but yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, because I could see, I could definitely see Dead Space getting like Dead Space 2, because Dead Space 2 actually, if I remember, also has a really high Metacritic
Yeah,
score.
no, Dead Space 2 is like also known as to be like a really, really great game. It's just not
Yeah.
as loved as the first one.
Yeah,
Because
I
what happened was
honestly,
Dead Space 2 focused more on the action than the horror,
yeah,
whereas Dead Space 1 focused more on the horror than the action.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is why people just prefer
If
the
I'm
other
gonna
two.
keep it real, man, why choose one when we could just get both?
Yeah, real.
Like,
And honestly,
why not do both?
yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree. Which is well, what I was just about to point. I don't really care what happens. Just don't let the franchise, don't let that IP go dormant again for a full generation. Like,
Yeah.
straight up. Like, that franchise should have never vanished in the first place. Because that franchise is way too good.
Oh
You're
yeah.
literally talking about the best sci-fi horror franchise in existence. Don't let it just vanish into existence again. Just do
Like we
something
s-
with it.
like we say, guys, with video game companies, the biggest thing you don't want to do is let your IPs die.
Exactly.
Like, there are moments when you'll know that the IP is just it needs to go. Like, I personally think an IP can live as long as it wants, but it won't last forever. Um, and I don't know. There's some that just have so much potential. Like, some, honestly, I think it's good that they go sometimes under the radar for a while, because then I think that's what makes people want them back. Um, so I I don't know, man. Give us both. I'm gonna be honest. Give us both. I think that'd
Yeah.
be sick.
The problem
Give
with
us more.
that, they would need two separate studios. Or no, sorry, not studio. Two separate departments or divisions,
Yeah,
or they would do one of them first and then the other one next. The problem with that would be that would take multiple years.
yeah.
And then the other problem is they've already confirmed they're working on an Iron Man game.
Oh
So
boy.
they would need three divisions at that point and a lot of time.
Yeah,
So to me, I feel like we're only gonna get one,
yeah,
but you never know. A man can dream. A man can dream, and
yeah.
a studio can surprise. So, all right, moving on to the next topic, real quick. I'm just gonna cover these two real quick. Star Wars Jedi Survivor did get delayed, only by 6 weeks, which isn't the worst. I actually think this is a phenomenal move, personally. The only negative effect is it now releases the exact same day as Dead Island 2, and yeah, we have to wait 6 more weeks, which is unfortunate. But the good news is that it's now closer to Star Wars Day, which I think is pretty cool. It now launches outside of a insanely packed month. I mean, you have so many games coming out in March that Star Wars is just going to be in the middle of that mess. But now it's kind of in its own separate month with Dead Island right now.
Its reasoning, though, is actually what I'm glad most of.
Yes.
I think it was a mixture of two reasons. The one reason that they actually put, and also because of how stacked that month probably
Yeah,
was.
I agree. I think it was a strategical decision and a actual game development reason, which what they point out in their letter that they basically posted, and that is they want to deliver the best possible experience, which means they are taking these extra six. They specifically pointed out this: the game content is done. Now they need these extra 6 weeks to help polish the game. That was literally the only problem about the first game, was that it launched with so many bugs. And that's why reviews did not like it. Metacritic had such a low view, but people loved the game. People straight up loved it. Fans adored it. It was one of those games where critics just didn't like it because of bugs, but everybody else loved it. They were able to look past it, and it succeeded. If you're getting these extra 6 months to specifically polish the game, what could really go wrong at that point?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it. We had a video that we did where we basically explained why 2023 would be the best year of gaming, and we put we put this game at top tier. And honestly, we made a statement where you could disagree with us saying, some of these could go like maybe into the lower tier in A, but now I think it's a guaranteed like top. I think the fact that they realize that and they understand, I think they know what's good. They know what's up. They know what they need to do. They want to make sure this product comes out phenomenal, because this could be the best Star Wars game of all time. It could be. There's a lot of potential for it.
I think the first game is my favorite of all time. So, yeah, there's so much potential, and I have to say, my confidence in EA has gone so far up in recent years, dude. I'm not gonna lie, EA is on another level right now. They've gotten their act together so much, and they've really become, outside of their sports and live service games, they've become an elite publisher.
Oh,
real. Yeah. I mean, God, they just have so many bangers one after another. I cannot think of like a single player game that has just not done it in recent years. No, I really can't. I'm struggling to think. I really cannot. They have just killed it. I mean, they won game of the year in 2021, which was crazy. It Takes Two went crazy. They've just released Dead Space Remake, which is like very close to one of the highest rated remakes of all time. They did Need for Speed, which a lot of people thought that was one of the best Need for Speeds in recent years. They just released so much good stuff, man. And this year's already looking stacked with the Dead Space Remake, with Wild Hearts this month, and Jedi Survivor in now April. I mean, God, they are killing it. Good stuff. Bro, EA and Capcom are just elite right now. Dude, EA and Capcom are elite.
Oh, man. These third party companies, man.
Dude, why can't Square and Ubisoft be like them? Like, what's going on?
Because Ubisoft just shot himself in the foot, and Square's an idiot.
Real.
Like,
Dumb and Dumber, right there.
We're gonna keep it 100% real. Ubisoft has shot themselves in the foot, and they're bleeding out slowly but surely. They're bleeding out, and they need to just because they need to start healing up. And Square, every second I look at that company, if Final Fantasy was not there, like, I'd like to think Square Enix is that company that is in a hospital bed and is dead, and what do they call it? The defibrillators is in every Final Fantasy game, and bringing them back to life, keeping them alive.
Real.
And I believe that. I do.
Bro, at this point, Square Enix and Ubisoft are just Dumb and Dumber.
Like, no hate to Square or Ubisoft. We hate on them, and we do this because we love them. I mean, we can hate on things, of course. It's not serious at the end of the day, but we care about, these companies, and we want them to produce good things. And unfortunately, they're both they're not doing so hot.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed in Square. Recently, I didn't notice it. I used to defend them on a lot of things, but after realizing the harsh truth, I realized, man, they have been off. Even in their first party stuff, it's not looking good. Then they sold Tomb Raider just to get it sold again for more money. They sold Tomb Raider for $300 million, and then
Embracer Group sold it to Amazon for
$600 million. You guys actually got, like, you guys got played.
I remember whenever that original news that Square Enix sold it, everybody was like, for only $300 million? Like, everyone literally, like, Jay would literally called it a highway robbery.
It was.
And now here we are. Yeah.
And look what Embracer did. Look what they did. They were like,
they just doubled it.
And I do want to say, because of that, I think Tomb Raider's dead because they sold it to
Amazon. I'm not gonna completely give up on it. I have no confidence in Amazon. Don't get me wrong. I have no confidence. But they did say they want to make Tomb Raider connected through TV, movies, and games.
Yeah.
Which I don't care if it's in movies or TV shows. You guys have tried that before. They've all sucked. But as long as the game is okay, that's fine. But I really don't have confidence.
I have no faith.
I really don't.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I mean, God. Why? Why Amazon, man? But you know, I don't know. Well, we'll just have to see. The next thing I want, this one we could talk about a little bit. Not really much, but on the term of Capcom, actually. According to Jeff Grubb, Undead Labs is working on a new IP alongside State of Decay 3. And this title is expected to announce the new project next year. So still game ways away. But we do know, well, we supposedly know, Undead Labs is now making a new IP. And then he also suggests Starfield releases in June and Hellblade 2 releases in 2023. Multiple things to talk about here. Number one, super awesome that Undead Labs is working on another thing outside of State of Decay 3. Super hyped for State of Decay 3. But now, looks like Undead Labs is working on a new IP, and they are super talented. They know how to make a good game. We'll see what the new IP is. And Starfield in June is what I'm predicting. And then Hellblade 2 releasing in 2023, I think is huge. Xbox is already having such a great year, and we know they're going to continue to do so. If Hellblade 2 now also releases this year, oh man, what a freaking year. Probably their best year in like literally ages.
Oh yeah.
But something I saw somewhere, which I'm going to just throw it out. It's a pipe dream. It is 99.9% impossible. Let's get Undead Labs partnering with Capcom to make Dead Rising. Let's make it happen. It's not gonna happen, but let's make it happen. Yeah, but a man could dream.
I don't know, man. Dead Rising is one of my 1 and 2 are one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, I love those games so much. Like they're in no world perfect, but they're just so fun. And zombie games, like just the fact that they are able to be so fun in a different way than what I'm used to. It takes a lot of things I'm not a big fan of, and it just kind of works. But I wouldn't be man, I love zombie games. Give me bro. I love zombie games, bro. I remember when people were going insane because I heard about a rumor of a game that I'd never heard of called I think it's zombie and
the day before.
Based. Oh, I thought I was gonna say I don't think it's zombie based. Hold on, I don't want to say this before I get murdered. Hold on a second. Continue talking on anything else you want to. I'm sorry.
My thought. If Undead Labs is working on a new IP, what the heck is it? Because Undead Labs is literally a zombie studio. Their name is literally Undead Labs and has a zombie arm and brain and eye on the cover of it. Like, are they going to make just another zombie IP or like what? They're just completely venturing off. I really don't know.
Yeah. The other one I was thinking of was when everyone talked about it was... It's so dumb, but I'd be okay with it. Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that was a while back. They had talked about that.
That's supposed to release this year, I think.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I
know there's a remake or something.
Yeah.
Reboot.
But I'm not opposed. But that's a huge leak, though. There was multiple things in there. 4 in counting. Because you have, of course, State of Decay 3.
Oh, yeah.
You had new IP, Starfield, and
Hellblade 2 releasing in 2020.
Yes.
And the thing is, this is coming from Jeff Grubb, one of the biggest journalists in gaming. So definitely still take it with a grain of salt, but it's definitely got some credibility to it. Very exciting, dude. Xbox just continues to look so positive. It's unreal.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Off to the next topic, the Coalition. Actually, another Xbox news.
Yeah. I wish I had never said exactly. I should have just said the Coalition. But
So
it's all good.
the Coalition, which is one of the very first developers to ever get their hands on Unreal Engine 5, has reportedly, this isn't confirmed, this is just reportedly off of many sources at this point, reportedly canceled 2 projects to fully focus on Gear 6. Now, many people have brought to its attention these 2 games could have very well been incubation games that were ideas that never really took off the ground. Jay Wood basically said, he described it so perfectly. He described it how I would. Is that developers and studios come up with so many ideas and so many, they start so many projects, but like majority of them never actually take off the ground. And that therefore Coalition, since they were the first ones to get their hands on Unreal Engine 5, they were trying some unique, different creative ideas, and they just decided to not go that route. And now they're fully focusing on Gear 6. I think Gear 6 is awesome. I love Gears of War franchise. I think Gear 6 is like really likely, and I just, it makes 100% sense, and I 100% want it. I want another Gears. I love the Mighty Q joke. Is like every Xbox event, every Gears of War fan's like, give me a Gears of War, and then everybody's like, y'all just got one, and he's like, I want another one.
Yeah,
Gears of War is just that franchise. After every game, you just like, yep, I want another one, another one.
Run it back through.
It's just one of those games. It's so like God, it's just so like arcade funny. Awesomeness. It's just so great. So yeah, if this is true, it is sad that 2 games got canceled. But in the end, I trust in Xbox like 100%. They've just been so good up to this point, and a lot of the games they've been putting out have been so high quality. And the Coalition is such a talented studio. In my mind, if they canceled it, it was probably for a good reason, not like Ubisoft's reason where they're just running out of money and time. So yeah, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Very excited for Gear 6 though.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have anything to say?
All I know, man, is I touched a little bit of Gears 3. And,
it's one of the best ones, actually.
Yeah. Back when I used to play Xbox, I remember touching it just a tiny bit. Not too much, but I got a good hold of it. And, I enjoyed it. And I never, got back into it because I didn't have anything else that I would do with it.
We should play Gears of War 4.
Man, I'm not opposed.
Dude, Gears of War 4 is my favorite. That might be one of my favorite Xbox games of all time, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not opposed.
Definitely top 3.
I'm glad they're doing it though. I think it's about that time.
Yeah,
especially during the upbringing of Xbox, I think it's that time.
Dude, literally, Xbox is entering their prime. I hope people realize this.
Yeah, I think it's at that point where, since the company's coming back alive and we've got that, the company's, blooming so much more. I just think it's that time, man, just to pitch in and start getting those heavy hitters.
Yep. Now that actually brings up a good point. I don't know when this game's gonna come out. If this is true, I don't know when Gear 6 coming out. I don't even know how long it's been in development. Apparently, they did this whole decision within the last year. But that doesn't mean Gear 6 hasn't been in development before that, too. Because Gears 5 came out 2019 or 2020. One of the two. So it's been quite a good while. Meaning, we're not super, due for one, but, we could see an announcement sometime soon.
2019.
So, yeah, we're, 4 years out now. And, I could definitely see an announcement maybe this year, probably next year. but probably won't be getting the game until at least next year.
Yeah.
But hey, at least it's hopefully it's real. But yeah,
I mean, people could make an argument, but it's the fact that those canceled things, because like, I mean, 4 came out in 2015, and then 2019, 5, and
yeah.
but yeah, with all that, it's like you'd like to think it continue the trend, but 2023.
You know what you know what I would love? I would love I know this is gonna be the weirdest comparison you've ever heard all day, but I want Gears to do the Fast and Furious technique. So like Fast and Furious, it went the Fast and the Furious. It went Too Fast, Too Furious for its sequel, and then it went to like Tokyo Drift for the third one, and then it went back to Fast and the Furious, and then it went to Fast 5, and then it went to Furious 6, and then it went to Furious 7. Fast and Furious 7. And then it went to The Fate and the Furious for 8. And then it went to Fast 9, The Saga. And now the next one's Fast X. Right? They changed the title every time. Well, it went Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, Gears of War Judgment Day, Gears of War 4. And then for some reason, they decided to change the title to just straight up Gears 5.
Yeah.
So I would love it if the 6th one is just War 6.
Oh my god.
Or just of 6. Gears of 6. just do the Fast and Furious technique where they just change the title every time. That'd be
man.
That'd be hilarious.
I don't know.
I always find it so weird why they just decide to randomly change it to Gears 5.
A lot of things don't make sense, John.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of things don't make sense. Like, why is Nintendo's second half gonna be dry?
Like,
really?
why is Konami coming back after all these decades?
Why is Ubisoft and Square kind of mid? Why is Konami coming back, bro? Like, what is this? Hello? Like, I'm not opposed. I'm not, but
I'm actually for it.
Listen, I'm about to say it, man. I'm sorry. Ubisoft and Square, Konami is coming back. Where are you? You're going away.
How? You're going away and they're coming back. How is that?
Do you hear a new Battlefield's in development?
Wait, what?
Yeah, a new Battlefield's in development.
Is that real?
I think so, yeah.
Ooh. I mean, after how the last one did.
Maybe they learned their lesson. I don't know.
I heard the last one was rough.
Yes, it was. It was very rough.
Man. I did not know about that. When did that come up?
I don't know. It was like a while ago. Oh yeah, it's because they decided to shut down Battlefield Mobile or something like that. And then they were like something like a new Battlefield's in development or something like that. I don't know. It was one of those leaks or posts, something like that. But
I see.
I think that's about it. Let me just go on Twitter, scroll real quick, see if there's anything else.
Yeah,
but,
I was about to say I've kind of been looking through, but I don't know if there's anything.
I think we about got most of it. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy comes out next week, but we'll talk about that in the Sunday podcast. Sunday will be a little update podcast where we talk about things we've been playing.
Oh, the one thing, I mean, we can't talk about one of your favorite, I mean, I don't know if it's like the biggest thing, but unannounced Titanfall game said to have been canceled by EA this week.
Yeah.
One of your favorite franchises from EA.
It was codenamed Titanfall Legends.
Yeah.
Which, see, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel.
Yeah, it says here the unannounced Titanfall game said to have been canceled by EA this week was reportedly being planned as a single-player experience for Apex Legends.
Yeah, see, I'm not too hurt by it. We've waited so long for Titanfall 3 at this point. It's like, it's basically just gone. There is no Titanfall anymore. They've shifted everything to Apex Legends, where if it's not Titanfall 3, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, other small things like, well...
And yes,
I
Titanfall
mean,
2 is my favorite first-person shooter of all time. So
yeah. There's other small things. I don't know if we covered the Back for Blood developer Turtle Rock announcing the ending of development of Back for Blood and to focus on its next game.
yeah. RIP, but excited to see what they do next.
Yeah.
Very curious.
I don't think Back for Blood was bad, man. I just think it wasn't for everyone, and I think the problem is with some titles like that, it's really hard to make it work like magic again, and I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it was really hard to make that work, and I think they tried their best, but there's only so much you can do, man.
It's time for Left 4 Dead 3.
Yep. I was gonna say this one because makes me happy. EA and Koei Tecmo, you got Wild Hearts.
Oh yeah.
No microtransactions and free post-launch content.
We're talking about EA here.
I know.
We're talking about EA.
That's a dub.
That is a huge dub.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. EA's just been elite, dude. They've just been doing all the right things.
Yeah, except for sounds like Skate 4.
Oh yeah.
Whenever.
And then
I'm kidding. No.
actually, in terms of EA, this technically is related to EA, but not really because, this was during EA's bad time. They decided to drop this game entirely. But Knockout City, which is no longer an EA game because they basically dropped the game. They were like, "Yep, we don't want anything to do with you anymore." Knockout City has officially announced they are ending the support and are shutting down the servers. R.I.P. me, we'll never be able to play the game again. R.I.P.
Game is underrated and
It is.
it was really fun. It was a very fun game, but sad, very sad.
Ooh. Interesting. Sorry, I just saw something on Twitter. Wolverine PS5 reports aiming for a fall 2024 launch. It is semi-open world linear, similar to design of God of War. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense for a Wolverine game.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That does sound really neat. I like that.
Let's see. Is there anything else?
Oh yeah. Other small news. God of War Ragnarok sold 11 million copies in 3 months.
Yes.
Let's go. Congratulations, Santa Monica Studio. You deserve it. I'm currently playing that game. I am late. Oh God.
I
man.
am late.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that's probably about it for this podcast. If we missed anything, we'll try and cover in the next one.
Yeah,
but,
there's not like any other big news. There's just tiny news. Like I remember, apparently Xbox 360 market shut down or whatever. Or
yeah,
but
that was actually just confirmed today. Did not be true. Actually,
really?
yeah, they have denied that.
6 hours. Oh, okay. They did say that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was about yes. Okay. So yeah, that's probably about it though. I don't think there's much else that I think we actually covered everything that was pretty big for the most part.
Ooh, another information for dang,
Well,
what's
never
going
mind.
on? Why is Wolverine getting so much information?
I
Another
stand
Wolverine
corrected.
thing. Hard it is supposedly going to have a hard M rating with dismemberment, which basically means limb losing.
What?
Yeah. Basically, you're
yeah.
going to be able to chop people's limbs off.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yeah, I would expect that to happen.
Well, no, because the thing is, like, sometimes with superhero things, they want it to be PG-13, rated
No,
PG-13.
you can't make Wolf. No,
I know. That's
No.
what I was saying. So, like,
That's
that information is
so-
really good news. Means they're not going to do anything
that's
stupid.
so, and also, it's being handled by PlayStation. I'm not surprised they would go for that.
Yeah.
Like, I think for a game like that, it would have to be like that. So,
I fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My name is Stephen with a V. Oh.
I hate you.
Why?
All right. Well,
Yeah, I think that's about it. All right.
I think yeah. I think that's
Alrighty.
legitimately everything. We covered everything that's really big, I think, and stuff that is a little bit tinier, but I think we got it all, man.
Yep.
Officially
Oh,
caught up.
I guess I will say something real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Just a little update. I've been playing SpongeBob and the Cosmic Shake. I can confirm game runs like dog crap on the Switch.
Wait, did you get it on the Switch?
Yes. Okay. There's an actual reason for this. There's only a PS4 and Xbox One version of the game. There is no Series or PS5 version. So I was like, well, I'm going to just get on the Switch then. I ain't trying to buy a last-gen game. So I was like, I'll just buy on the Switch. I can confirm that was a bad mistake. Because game's frame rate is so bad. But
So, basically what you're saying is SpongeBob, the Cosmic Shake, it was too powerful that it couldn't run on the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5.
correct.
It was too powerful.
Yep, correct.
I want to see how it operates. Man, I can't imagine.
I will say, though, the platforming and actually, believe it or not, the combat is pretty fun. I've been enjoying it so far. God, the music goes hard, no lie, straight up. Dude, there's some music you would not expect, like, boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I can't wait to see what House Flipper 2 does to the Xbox Series S and X, bro.
Oh, bro.
Starfield ain't got nothing.
Bro, it's gonna have a gas leak and blow up.
My Xbox is gonna explode.
Bro,
Literally.
real. Alrighty,
Starfield, nope.
that's it.
But yeah. Yep.
Alright, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like, leave a comment section down below provided. We will be back Sunday night for the next podcast. We're gonna try to stick to this schedule. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. G.A.M.E.R out. Peace.
See ya.